Jack Ma.
Billionaire Jack Ma.
The Alibaba founder disappeared from public view in late October.
China's most influential entrepreneur
has not appeared in months.
For more than 2 decades, Jack Ma was one of China's most successful entrepreneurs, the embodiment of the country's breathtaking economic rise.
Shares of Alibaba stock skyrocketed Friday, propelling the company to an estimated value of $228 billion.
But confidential documents reviewed by the New York Times and The Wire China show that some of his biggest deals had the secret backing of Xiao Jianhua, a billionaire with ties to the families of China's political elite.
I think it'll surprise a lot of people that the most famous businessman ever to come out of China in 5,000 years of Chinese history was so closely tied in with a guy who's in jail serving a 13-year sentence.
Mike Forsyth, the New York Times, in July of 2023, invited Katrina, David, and I to the Times offices and told us about this project that he'd been working on.
In 2018, a thumb drive was quietly delivered to the New York Times. It contained a massive leak of internal documents about the Tomorrow Group's offshore holdings. Xiao was one of the nation's wealthiest businessmen, acting for decades as a banker to the political elite. In 2017, he was caught up in Xi Jinping's anti-corruption drive, abducted from the Four Seasons Hotel in Hong Kong, and quietly transported to mainland China. He re-emerged in 2022 when a Shanghai court convicted him of bribery and fraud and sentenced him to 13 years in prison. The Tomorrow Group documents were leaked after his abduction.
We didn't know what we had. If you just look at it randomly, there's no pattern, it doesn't make any sense.
Within it, there were things like passport photos, photocopies of driver's licenses, even phone bills.
A team of reporters worked for more than a year trying to make sense of the files, deciphering shorthand, code names, and using corporate databases to search for deals involving Xiao and companies linked to Jack Ma.
The most significant document, I would say, in the whole leak is an internal spreadsheet that has every single offshore company that the Tomorrow Group, Xiao Jianhua's empire, has.
This document was enormously powerful for us because you could take the name of the company and look at Hong Kong Stock Exchange filings, and you'd see that, in fact, all of these companies are invested in publicly listed firms.
A few names stood out: Alibaba, Alibaba Pictures, Yunfeng Financial, and Ant Group, companies controlled or invested in by Jack Ma, but also part of Xiao's secret offshore stock portfolio. The records also pointed to a middleman in some key deals, a mysterious figure named Huang Yolong.
Huang Yolong is a businessman from China. He kind of came out of nowhere to marry China's most famous actress at the time, Zhao Wei. He became one of Jack Ma's best friends, so he's always in Jack Ma's orbit. He's a bit of an enigma. He is the key middleman in the documents.
Inside the files was a so-called white glove agreement between Xiao and Huang, spelling out how Huang would serve as a frontman for some of Xiao's deals with Jack Ma.
And it says that Huang Yolong is going to serve as a white glove for Xiao Jianhua in this one company. It's so unique because you very rarely get a contract written out about a white glove arrangement. Usually it's informal, it's off the books by nature, and this is a on the books white glove arrangement.
So as we were sifting through the documents, one thing that we noticed in there was a reference to an investment in MYJF, the abbreviation for 蚂蚁金服, which is the Chinese for Ant Group.
In 2020, just 2 days before Ant Group was set to go public with the largest IPO in history, regulators halted the process and Jack Ma disappeared from public view. It's unclear what really happened to Ant's IPO, but we now know Xiao had secretly found a way into the deal.
Elliot, using Wirescreen, uncovered the fact that this guy, Liu D, was in fact a white glove for Xiao Jianhua, and he had a huge stake in the Ant IPO. And what's even more weird is that he was already in jail.
A former Tomorrow Group senior executive said Xiao was eager to invest in deals involving Jack Ma. So his team found a way to get in, using offshore structures and middlemen like Huang. The New York Times and The Wire China have no evidence that Jack Ma or the empire he controlled, Alibaba and Ant Group, were aware of Xiao's investments. Ma and Alibaba, through their lawyers, have denied any knowledge. But the deals, valued at more than $1 billion, are startling nonetheless.
It does show how hard it is to escape this sticky web of connections and political power and influence in China, even for somebody like Jack Ma.